Ready for some secrets for a great cherry pie made easy? It starts with cold water, and it's not water from my Stanley cup, even though I keep mine full always with cold water. Love my Stanley cup. Okay guys, so first of all, I have my oven heating at 425. Second of all, I do have some cold water. I have it sitting here in a ceramic mug. You want ice cold water. Trust me, you want ice cold water. For our filling, I'm gonna do a cherry pie. I'm not making it, pitting my cherries. We're gonna do right out of a can. I've got the Lucky Leaf brand. You use whatever brand you want. This is what my husband picked up for me. And we're just going to open that up. We're gonna dump it in the bowl here because I'm gonna do some extra to this pie filling to make it semi homemade, and I can say, yes, it's my pie filling. This one's pretty thick. If you get a cherry pie filling that's really kind of juicy, runny, you can add a teaspoon of tapioca in there and it helps firm it up and you won't have that running pie filling. So to this pie filling, I'm gonna put in just a little bit, maybe 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract. Just boost that cherry flavor right on up. And then I'm gonna put in just a little bit more sugar because we like ours sweet, just like that. And then I'm gonna stir this around and set it aside and let that be setting over there, just soaking up live. And we're gonna move on to the pie crust. I have 2/3 and 2 tablespoons of baking shortening in here. That's another secret, guys. Make sure your shortening says baking. The difference is this has got to have some tallow in it, some beef lard. You can actually use beef lard. I like cooking with beef lard. My grandma did. You can use butter, but make sure if you're using a shortening, it's baking shortening. It's gonna give you that crispy, flaky crust, or tender crust, not crispy. So my shortening's in there. I'm gonna go in with 2 cups of flour. I'm making all kinds of noise this morning. 2 cups of flour. And you wanna use a good flour. I am using Great Value today. I think it's a good flour, but I've gotten some flours that I do not like. So we're gonna set that across the room. We're going to go in with a teaspoon of salt, just like that. And guys, kind of whirl that around like that. And I'm going to start with a pastry blender. You can use a fork if you don't have a pastry blender. I'm just going to keep doing this, and I'm going to get it down to where it looks like little peas, and I'll show you in a minute. Okay, guys. That's what she looks like. And then we're gonna go in with 5 to 6 tablespoons of water. This is gonna depend on your humidity in your house. You can start out with 5. I'm gonna do 6 because I automatically know what mine's gonna call for this time of year. 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is ice cold water, guys. Remember, that's the secret. And you're not gonna wanna stir and overwork your crust. I'm just gonna keep stirring it like that until I get it worked into a ball. Okay guys, there she is. I finish it up with my hands at the end. And then I'm gonna go in on the countertop and I'm gonna sprinkle in some flour here, kind of get it all worked around so I can throw that dough on there. I'm gonna get it on my hands. I'm gonna get it on my rolling pin here, lightly. And then I'm gonna take half of this dough. Now, if you want a thicker crust, you're gonna wanna use the whole thing and just roll it out to what you want it to look like. But I'm taking this to dinner tonight, so I'm not gonna show you how I'm gonna cut it open. But I'm gonna put it in one of these pie plates so it doesn't require a big, nice, fancy crust on the bottom. And some people like their crust thinner, but I'm just gonna keep rolling this out, lightly pressing on the rolling pin. Okay, I'm gonna keep rolling it till I get it to the pie plate size I want. Okay guys, it's not perfectly round, and that's okay. If you wanna buy one of those mats that help you make it perfectly round, that's fine. But like I said, this is going on the bottom, so it doesn't have to be perfect, because your top crust is going to cover up your imperfections. And I poke holes in it. You don't want it to bubble up on you when it's baking. It's gonna look like that. I know it looks not so pretty now, but it'll get pretty. And I'm gonna put in my filling right now that we doctored up, just like that. And yes, I can cook a cherry pie filling from scratch, but I want you guys to be able to do it semi-homemade cooking and easy too, especially during the Thanksgiving, Christmas season when you're making pies. And if you want to buy a frozen pie shell or the pre-made dough, you can. I just don't really like it. So we're going to set this aside and make the top crust. Okay guys, I've got it rolled out to where I want it. We're going to bring this pie back in here, slide it under there like that. And see, it doesn't have to be super pretty, and honestly, I like them when they look more rustic. I think that people appreciate that you went to all the trouble of making them homemade. And I'm just gonna go around this pie, pretend like this, cutting it off. It's nice with these metal pans, it's easy to do that because they're a little bit sharper, or whatever you want to call it, around the edge. Just like that. And I'm going to pretty it up, don't worry. Just like that. And then this is where you're going to go in and you're going to just crimp it with your thumbs and your fingers, or you can use a fork if you want. I'm just going to keep going all the way around this pie. Okay guys, I've got it all crimped up and the way I want it to look. I'm going to put a hole in the center. You can make any designs that you like. This is just to vent your pie.
Do you need a foil to go around that?
Yes. Okay, so there's that. My next secret, I don't know, maybe people do this. I lay some fresh butter, or real butter, whatever you want, whatever you got, at a time on top of it, just like that. You're gonna help it brown up. And we'll do one more over here. Just like that. So that's another little secret of mine. And then I like raw sugar, but I only have regular sugar today, and most people have this on hand anyway. So I dust it with a little bit. That was maybe half of a teaspoon of sugar. It looks just like that. And then guys, it's ready to go in the oven. And the next little trick, the next little trick I do is I always make a foil wrapping to bake this, so that it doesn't get done too quick or too burnt on the outside. I do it just like that, and in the last 10 or 15 minutes, I'll take that off. I'm gonna pop this in the oven for 35 to 45 minutes, depending on your oven, and we'll show you what it looks like. Hey guys, the pie's out of the oven. This is what it looks like. It's gonna go to dinner tonight. If I get a chance, I'll take a picture and let you see what it looks like. But let's go make a semi-homemade cherry pie. Repost, save it, share it. If you haven't followed me, follow for more.